I come bearing the gift of fire, or rather the gift of pointing you in a direction that will let you burn things in a fictional context. Basically the same thing, right? I'm Kalice, and I think that Little Inferno is pretty neat. As I hope you've surmised by now, Little Inferno is a game about burning things. You, child that you are, have been given your very own Tomorrow Corporation brand, Little Inferno Entertainment Fireplace. Have fun playing with fire! This is a game that I found to be rather unique. Now, uniqueness is not something that's inherently good or bad, but when you've experienced a lot of a medium, it does become a much more attractive quality. Usually makes something at least worth checking out. At least I've played quite a few fucking video games in my time, and that's how I look at things. Little Inferno is a rather simple game. It's sort of a puzzle game in some respects, which makes sense considering the Tomorrow Corporation's body of works, the actual developer, not the in-universe entity, that being World of Goo and later 7 Billion Humans and Human Resource Machine. Also, they're apparently only composed of 3 people, according to the Nintendo store page for Little Inferno. That's really fucking cool. Indie shit is awesome, and it makes the anti-corporate sentiments expressed in this game make even more sense. At any rate, the main draw of Little Inferno, as far as I'm concerned, is the narrative and tone. As for the gameplay, you put stuff in the Little Inferno fireplace, then you hold down left click or a button or the touchscreen, and that starts a fire that you use to burn stuff. The core gameplay loop is burning stuff, collecting money, using that money to buy more things, which are shipped to you with relatively short timers, which you then, of course, burn. There are multiple catalogs, you have to buy everything in one catalog and perform some combos, we'll get to that in a bit, before progressing to the next. You can also use money to expand how many items you can hold at once, but why do that when you can buy more things to burn? I did find it fun to burn all these different things. The sound and graphical design are both absolutely stellar and a big part of what was fun, plus the things you're burning are widely varied, and the results of burning them are sometimes unpredictable to say the least. But I also just think it's fun to burn stuff. Thinking on it now, that may be more of a personal thing. A totally safe, normal, insane personal thing. You are also given a list of combos that contain the number of items needed and a name that acts as a hint as to what those items are. This is the puzzle aspect. I thought it was an entirely optional part of the game, but looking around at a few guides online, it seems like you need to do some to progress. I'm not sure how many you need to do to progress. I guess the way I played the game, I never saw that it was a requirement, or the requirement to do combos was patched out at some point. I'm not going to scrape the patch notes to find out. I generally did every combo I could before trying to unlock the next catalog. I would mostly do them while I needed a bit more money or while I was waiting for other items I ordered to arrive. I guess if you want to figure them out for the funsies, do it. If not, it's easy to find guides online that'll just tell you what each combo entails. There's also a fan site that has a hint system that I'll link in the description if you want a sort of midway option. Performing these combos also gives tomorrow stamps that you can use to make items you've ordered arrive instantly. My only complaint with the game is related to these combos. I kind of wish that burning them together did something special. Most of them just kind of burn together. This feels super nitpicky, and it's not really a problem. It just would have been cool if the combos did unique stuff. The names for the combos are generally funny, or clever at least, and figuring them out was pretty enjoyable. So yeah, again, I did have fun burning stuff, but there's not really much of a challenge here. Most of the combos are pretty obvious, and there's nothing resembling a fail state. I don't think that's remotely a problem, but I know that some people don't like games like that, so if you're one of those people, wouldn't you know it, this game probably isn't for you. The story is one of those that's sort of difficult to talk about in too much detail. It's one of those things where I very much don't want to give too much away because the what the fuckery of this situation is one of the core things that drove me towards the ending. So I'll be talking about very little in that respect beyond the details you get early on and from the trailer, which is sent to you in-game relatively early on, as well as being what exists to officially promote the game, so it feels like pretty fair game in the whole spoilers respect. Little Inferno is a toy meant for children. It's been snowing for years, and the planet is apparently getting colder with no signs of that stopping. The adults acknowledge that Little Inferno is dangerous for children, but apparently they think the risk is worth it. And if the kids don't use Little Inferno, they might freeze to death. Plus, it's implied that they're supposed to be burning, like, everything they own. So things are just the slightest bit fucked up. This is pretty clear satire, and like the real kind of satire that criticizes those in power, not just something that's trying to be edgy and offensive for the sake of it and using satire as an excuse, which always comes off as immature or embarrassing or cruel, or some mixture of the three. I read it as criticizing the reaction to climate change, propaganda, big business, and possibly capitalism in general, so I was very much on board with this game's message. There's a very biting, dark, and sometimes bizarre humor that permeates the game and edges very gradually into genuine horror as you progress. Where that line is exactly will probably vary from individual to individual, but it definitely crossed it for me. It felt like some sort of hybrid between the type of dark comedy from What We Do in the Shadows and the feelings of being involved in something horrifying that I got from Papers, Please, with a couple of fourth wall tapping meta-narrative jokes thrown in for good measure. Definitely a mixture of elements that I appreciated a lot. The vast majority of the narrative is conveyed by three characters who send you letters, which are burnable after you read them, of course. There's the figurehead and maybe creator of the Little Inferno toy, the weatherman flying up, up, up over the city in a weather balloon, and a little girl who also has a Little Inferno entertainment fireplace of her own. Again, simple but enjoyable. It took me about 4 hours to finish 100%, which involved reaching the ending, doing every combo, and buying every item 3 times, which puts a little gold border around the item. How nice. Little Inferno was a game that really clicked with me. There's nothing else quite like it. I'll probably look fondly back on it for years to come. This has been Kalice, liking and linking exist. I recently reworked my Patreon with new rewards, my outlines, my scripts, raw audio from when I record these, and there will eventually be polls to vote on future videos. Keep loving what you love, and I'll see you next time with something else.
The raw audio tracks have special guest star me!
It's Lily! Like 90% of these are probably gonna have her, if not all of them. Probably all of them. I'll be real. Probably just all of them. You're probably just gonna be here, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're leaving that in, right?
Oh, totally. And this.
No, but like no, I mean, like, are you leaving that in the actual video?
I don't know. I'll feel it out.
Okay.
It's Inferno, it's Inferno.